guys, what's up? It's Ryan back again with another mix trick. Today is more of a mix tip as we're going to be talking about appropriate levels for all channel strips, especially the stereo bus or your output bus. So the artist we're working with is named Bren. She comes from the Metro Detroit area and a very talented young singer-songwriter. And this is her latest track called Melanie. And we're in the mixing stages. Let's give it a listen. Whoops. Let's give it a listen.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters are the tears in your eyes, and I will come back for you.
Alright, cool. Let's take a look at our mixer window. And what I want you to note is that all our faders are well below unity. And everything, when it was recorded at about minus 12 dB. I had the pleasure, the luxury of recording this. So sometimes you're not going to have that luxury. You're just going to be sent a track or tracks, and you're going to have to deal with whatever they did. But I was fortunate enough to have been able to record this, so I knew that I wanted to keep everything at about minus 12 going in, so that when I got to this stage that we're in now, it'd make my life easy. So what I did was I mixed everything around the vocals. I kept the vocals up at about minus 3 on the fader. They're hanging around minus 12 on the meters, and everything else is dipped back. I wanted the story to kind of stand out most, so everything sits around that. Check it out. Nothing's going to go over minus 12. There is one exception here, and these are programmed drums.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters are the tears in your eyes.
And the programmed drums are above minus 12 because they were programmed. We couldn't do anything about it. It's like an Apple loop or something. But here's our stereo bus, and that's hanging around minus 9. That's perfect for mastering engineers. Some like it lower, some like it right about there. And I haven't heard a mastering engineer ever say that they want it at 0 or, above for sure. There are some plugins on the stereo bus. However, they're all inactive right now. And this is kind of a twofold thing. You want the artist to walk out happy with a rough mix or even a final mix, if you will, and they want it to be able to compete with the next song on the radio volume wise, and they want it to be able to compete with their MP3s and everything else, so they don't have to crank that volume knob up. However, the mastering engineer is not going to care about that. He's going to want the file as pure as he can get it. So most mastering engineers will request that you don't throw an L1 limiter on it. They can do all that, any kind of limiter for that matter, or any EQ or any compression, anything like that. So we left those off for the mastering engineer, but if you want the artist to walk away with something that's competitive for the radio, you can give them that version, give the mastering engineer a different version. Here's a back EQ on the output bus. We'll start with it inactive, and then we'll turn it on.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters are the tears in your eyes, and I.
Next, we have our compressor. I can't believe I use an API 2500 on this. My go-to is always the SSL, but for whatever reason, this one worked. Check it out without first.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters are the tears in your eyes. And
very subtle. All right, next we have our tape. Check it out. This is going to add a lot of glue. Off first.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters are the tears in your eyes, and I
volume, our L1.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters are the tears in your eyes, and
everything off.
We'll come back.
That's what you give to the mastering engineer, most likely. And now everything on.
Don't get blindsided by the things you've been blinded by. What only matters.
And notice our stereo bus then is about -3. That's perfect to give out to the artist. And yeah, give the mastering engineer the other version that's hanging around -9, -12, whatever it is. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it and learned something, please subscribe. And yeah, till next time.